Yeah, Guapo, ha, Guapo, huh, Guapo, MoBlock, Guapo, Guapo, Guap, MoBlock or no block, MoBlock or no block, MoBlock or no block, talk shit, get your head popped, MoBlock or no block, MoBlock or no block, MoBlock or no block, talk shit, get your head popped, MoBlock or no block, MoBlock or no block, MoBlock or no block, talk shit, get your head popped. MoBlock or no block, MoBlock or no block, MoBlock or no block.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Liam here with another edition of the MoBlock Power Ratings. I gotta be honest, this might have been the easiest edition of the Power Ratings yet. Almost zero upsets this past week, and due to that, there's very minimal movement on this week's Power Ratings. Nonetheless, the analysis is week to week, and I'll always provide great commentary, which is why the commissioner pays me the big bucks. Even though I might not need this job anymore now that Mam Danny is the mayor and my rent will be paid for by millionaires' tax dollars. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hop into this week's Power Ratings. Remaining at number 12 and the number 1 candidate to wear the cheerleader costume, we have Cristiano Garcia. Great win this past week against Mencho to stop the bleeding, but unfortunately, it got a little more ugly for your team. Another one of Liam's rule of thumbs in fantasy is when you have depth at a certain position, keep it. A lot of teams try to trade depth to fill out other areas of a team, and while that sounds great on paper, with the way this shit goes, when you trade away depth, an injury happens. Believe me, I lived this myself. Daniels being gone for the year means you're going to have to resort to discount, double-check the rest of the way who gets the ball out so fast because he is scared to get hit. I wish you luck, but that might be the nail in the coffin. Remaining at number 11, we have Mencho. All this talk this past week about how you were too low on the ratings and feeling good just for you to lay an egg versus the bottom-ranked team. Literally, as soon as the 0-5 desperation wore off after 3 straight wins, you resorted right back to the person the commissioner told me you were and what I predicted you would be last week. Now, when it comes to your team, I think your receivers are coming along, but the running backs are still my main concern as they have been all year. Henderson had the prime opportunity to be the golden goose bell cow, and he still remained in a split with a no-name running back. Same thing with Tracy, and he's in a split with Singletary, and Kieran is in a split with Corum. Splits are probably one of the most annoying things to have to deal with in fantasy football, but I've never seen someone have all of their running backs in splits. Remaining at number 10, we have Juan. I got to be honest, man, if it weren't for the 2 Chris's stinking it up, I'd have you at the bottom. Trying to play in a 1-point PPR format with no receivers is next to impossible. I discussed previously about how poor Metcalf's advanced metrics were, and that resonated last week. Ridley is hurt, and Bourne is basically irrelevant. Now, the commissioner told me you were working the phones like crazy, which is good, but the problem is you have luxury items that people already have. Everybody has a tight end aside from Poppy. Pause. Everyone has a quarterback aside from Cristiano. So I wish you luck, but I think the chances of you completing a trade are remote. Coming in at number 9, down 1 spot from last week, we have Roland. The commissioner told me you've been in witness protection the last couple weeks, so I hope you're okay. But to keep it short and simple, last week we like to call a performance like that not getting off the bus. The commissioner had his feet up and beat you without a kicker. That's pretty damn embarrassing. You have 3 quarterbacks on the roster, 2 of them are banged up, and the other one doesn't have any confidence from the person who signs his check or indicates whether he starts or not. The running backs were a big concern of mine, and they both had 10 points combined. Puka has got to be looking around like, my God, can I get any help here? I'm not suggesting you trade him, but something has got to change because you're headed the wrong way. Coming in at number 8, down 2 spots from last week, we have Markel. Little bit of a shocker to me after I ran my algorithms that you are this low. You showed up, you put up your weekly 130, but Zay just had field day against you. The roster still looks solid to me, but I do think there are concerns about your RB2. Chuba, I think you can go ahead and drop now that Rico has taken his job, and maybe even his girl too. But in all seriousness, you could use another alpha next to Jacobs to give you that extra push. I think you have just enough at wide receiver. Herbert is still a fine quarterback, and McBride is one of the league's best. So kick the tires on that. Coming in at number 7, up 2 spots from last week, we have Zay. It's amazing what your team can actually do when you have competent receiver play. It's almost like you can be one of the best teams in the league since you have all the top running backs. I doubt that receiver play is going to be consistent, but Maybe you take this as a notice to ship one of those backs away for a couple real receivers. Knowing you, though, you'll think that Jamo and Jennings are going to score every week and just keep rolling with those guys. Coming in at number 6, up one spot from last week, we have Deshaun. I'm still being very cautious with you, but even in a loss, I will acknowledge your adequate performance. You have a serious tight end duo going for you, and Romeo Doubs has been a very nice late-round pickup. Unlike Zay, your running backs are entering the danger zone, or should we call it the bloated zone. Kenneth Walker is a good player, but this split with Charbonnet is just eating away at his volume, and Aaron Jones picked up yet another injury. Zay can be a perfect dancing partner for you to work out a trade, so give him a call, even though his phone doesn't seem to work. Remaining at number 5, we have Emmett aka Showtime. Even though you got the win, it was against Roland, so we'll take it for what it's worth. Injuries did mount for you once again with Stevenson and Travis Hunter heading to the IR, so to come away with a win, despite that, is commendable. Your best move from this past week is picking up Sam Darnold, who now sits at 20-1 odds to win the MVP. I don't think he will, but a great pickup on your part. Remaining at number 4, we have Raquan. According to the commissioner, your behavior this past week has been odd, but it sounds like you've taken my advice. You've almost been a little too quiet, as if we're in the Looney Tunes League and a trade has gone off and everybody needs to be in a code red and shut the fuck up until the trade processes. And you know how quiet that is. Anyway, you kicked ass last week, you keep thanking your fantasy gods for another day. You'll be on your way again this week. Remaining at number 3, we have Vontae. Enjoy the top 3 while you're here, because this can very well be your last week here. You're another person who, I'm glad, is taking my advice and cutting bait with players who are killing you. You finally admit that both Cooper Kupp and Mixon are busts, and you moved on? Congratulations. Emotional ties are rough, but you're better off getting some real players in there. Now, when it comes to your receiver room outside of Pickens, I want to shit myself just looking at it. Slayton is garbage, Watson is on a team with too many mouths to feed, and the rest of those guys aren't even fantasy relevant. Does the doctor have an update on Brandon Ayuk? You're going to need him this week if possible. Remaining at number 2, we have Jamar. 6 wins in a row, and the only thing hotter than the uncrowned kings is the sun. Last week I questioned who the fuck your starting running backs would be, and you might have something with this duo of Rico and Monan Guy. I don't know if they'll last, but they're certainly viable. One thing I will admit I miscalculated was Chuba coming back in and making this more of a split, but the coaches discarded him and continued to roll with Rico. Now imagine if the same happens to Monan Guy? Then you could be changing your name to the Crowned Kings. And remaining at number 1, we have this ugly mother. You know what, I'm sick of saying that shit. Not that I disagree with Showtime by looking at that picture on the screen, but I'll tell you what, Showtime. Revoke my bonus for that, Mamdani has won. I don't need the extra money, so I'll tell you what, Pape, you're beautiful, okay? Now, when looking at your team, yuck. You continued to prosper despite the injuries, but Pearsall is going on 6 weeks without practicing, Bucky is at 5 weeks, and losing Tucker Kraft is a killer. He slowly established himself as one of the best tight ends in the league. A tight end isn't the end of the world, but he was a true difference maker. So again, I'll be interested to see how you respond. There you have it, guys. I am looking forward to seeing how everything plays out, and I will be back on November 13th with another edition of the MoBlock Power Ratings. Good luck, everyone.